Hello, everybody, and welcome. It's been a minute since I've done a video, and I am so excited to have a very special guest with me, Jasbir Uppal. And she is an aspiring, well, no, you are a comedian period. And I come to you from the unceded territories of the Coast Salish people, in particular the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh nations. My name is Sue, and this is Joy Factor. Jasbir is new to the world of stand-up comedy and has been making her friends and family laugh for years. She uses the stage as a platform for her quick-witted observations as a self-confessed word nerd, political junkie, and film buff. As a comedian with disability, she aspires for success on stage without breaking any legs, proverbial or otherwise. And Jeff Spear, could you please tell us which territories you come to us from?
For sure, Sue. Thank you for that. I'd like to acknowledge that I'm joining you from the traditional unceded territories of the Semiahmoo, Katzie, Coquitlam, Kwantlen, Kakite, and Swasin First Nations. Thank you for having me.
Of course, and welcome. It's been a summer, and
Hmm.
we're heading into a new, well, it was a Virgo new moon.
And I am a Virgo. It's my
Are
birthday next
you?
week. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm a
nice.
very Leo-ish Virgo from my friends that follow astrology. That's what they tell me.
I follow astrology as out of interest, but and it's not like it's a thing. It's just,
Yeah.
interesting for me. And if other people do not follow it, it's okay. I'm that's fine. So, welcome, and let's talk about a little how you got into becoming a stand-up comic.
Well, like you mentioned, I've been making people laugh just in friendship and family circles for a long time. And then my sister was working with somebody. She met somebody at a conference at work. She works for the municipal government, and they mentioned that they do stand-up comedy in their spare time, and that they had taken some classes locally. And my sister mentioned the classes to me and offered to take me to class once a week when the next session started in January. I'm in Surrey. Classes were in New West. And my sister's very busy. I said, no, well, you have a lot to do. For disability reasons, I don't drive. And I work from home, again, for disability reasons. So I don't get out much. And I said, I don't want to inconvenience you. And she's like, no, I would love to support you in this. And I thought, well, if I do this, I can get everybody off my back once and for all who thinks that I should do stand-up comedy. And then I went to register for the class and I found out there was a Zoom option. So I thought, well, this is great. It'll give me the opportunity to say that I took the class, but I won't take any time away from my sister. And so we had like 4 sessions on Zoom, and it was just three of us plus the teacher. And it went fine enough. And then we had a comedy showcase in person. That's when I started to think, oh my gosh, this is real. So I let all my friends know that I was going to be in a comedy showcase. They didn't even know I was taking the class. And then once I was on stage at the showcase, one thing led to another, and I really enjoyed it. And I wound up getting a few bookings out of it. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. So, do you have a booking upcoming?
No, but I have registered for September 17th at the House of Comedy. There is a contest called BC's Funniest Female. So I will be performing on the 17th of September.
Great. So, and so we have the show coming up on September 17th,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll put the link in below for that. And good luck.
Oh, thank you. Yeah,
So,
one reason why I was drawn towards Laughter Zone 101, I took the class a second time as well, is I had a lot of apprehension about doing stand-up comedy because like any person, I try to find humor in day-to-day situations, but some of my day-to-day situations are not funny.
mhm.
And I thought, oh, I'm just going to be going up there making a spectacle of myself and offering up some difficult situations for laughter. And I'm not happy about that. And that's why I was really reluctant. However, the teacher that we had was really empowering. She's like, this is you, this is your story. You go up there, and what do you have to say?
Mhm.
And she told me, you don't even have to talk about disability if you don't want to.
Mhm.
And I was like kind of stunned by that. And she's like, it's up to you. And so she gave us a series of exercises and created a safe space for us to figure out what we wanted to say and how we wanted to say it. And it was, I I guess I've been watching too much media, too many media stories where you think it's a very cutthroat world and industry, but the
Mhm.
amount of mutual support that was provided in that circle was kind of incredible. Even now, the BC's Funniest Female, yes, it's a competition, but it's also she's marketing it as a networking event
Right.
because
Mm-hmm.
you know
Sure.
because
Yeah.
when I told my friends that I was doing this, and with the fellow performers, we give each other feedback on each other's sets, and they said, "Don't you feel like territorial? What if somebody takes your jokes?" And I said, "They can't take my jokes because they can't be me,
Right.
and my jokes are original and they're based on who I am. So there's no sense of competition."
Right.
Even going into a competition, I'm not feeling judged, even though I will be judged.
Well, yeah. I guess the judging is a part of creating a place for decision. And
Yeah.
but it's not necessarily creating a place where you need to feel um, put down or disrespected. It's it.
Well, I mean, one thing your podcast, from what I know, is it's about joy,
That's right.
and one way to take joy away from yourself, in my experience, is when I compare myself to other people, and
Correct.
because at its worst, if I compare myself to other people, even other people with disabilities, I feel sometimes like I haven't accomplished enough or
Mm,
I'm not good enough at something. So it becomes an excuse to beat myself up. And
mm,
then at its, um, and then if I compare myself the other way and to someone who I think I have achieved more than or am happier than or whatever, it gives me a false sense of superiority. So there's really no point in comparing.
absolutely.
And and I think comparisons can create a lot of misery.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, I would agree with
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, um, we all just need to be ourselves and allow.
And that degree, that I wasn't expecting to get this amount of acceptance,
Mm.
coming into a creative circle.
Oh, well, I'm so
And
happy you've received that.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, and in addition to the comedy, I and the work, I also I'm a curator for my book club. That's what I call it. I'm a coordinator, but I get to pick the selections,
Okay.
and the community libraries are amazing. Most of them have book club kits. So we go
Hmm.
to the community library, and so there's really no financial investment on our part. There's like hundreds of kits to choose from, but they give you a kit of 10 books, and so I get to decide which one, and then somebody decides to host. And the last book that we read took place in India, and the book was very similar to the heritage of one of the book club members. So she offered to host, and she pulled out all the stops. And with her permission, I contacted the author, and the author joined us at the book club via Zoom. And this is not a small local author. This is an author whose book is being developed into a Netflix miniseries.
Right.
And so the night before book club, I contacted the author, and her assistant called me back. And these are the kind of things that like I live for, because that too is engaging in the creative process.
Oh, to be sure.
Right?
Wow.
Yeah, and that
That's
happened like 2 weeks ago.
amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, because it was and I've tried to do that before with even local authors, and nobody's gotten back to me. And so she got back to me within 2 hours and said, "I'm free tomorrow. Let's figure it out, and I can join you on Zoom."
That's so
And
cool. I love that.
yeah,
I really love the fact that um you went, I don't care if nobody else has. I'm just going to keep asking until somebody says yes.
well, yeah, yeah, and also the speaking of the creative process, we really enjoyed the novel, and the author said it took her 13 years
Hmm.
to get it published, and this person's first book was published in her 60s, and so it was just exciting for us to see that something that we think is, very well put together and everything went through so many iterations and more than a decade of commitment. And I think that whatever one does in life, you have to do it with passion and without expectation.
Yeah.
And so for me, I thought, okay, I will go up there on the stage. I'll do my little bit. Hopefully, I won't hurt myself, because I do have a tendency to trip over my own feet. And we found an adapted way for me to be on stage so that I don't have to stand up. Um, and that'll be the end of it. But turns out there's an appetite for there to be more, and I really enjoyed myself up there. But you never know until you try. And I think sometimes when we do things, they don't look exactly the way that they look for other people.
Right.
And I'm saying that as a person with a disability, but you could apply it to a lot of different situations. And to let that not be a barrier in the mind, and to let, because my sister's who was encouraging me, she said, "Well, we'll figure it out. Like we'll, you know." And I was like, "Oh, but then I'm going to need a chair." And I looked around, and there were no chairs that had arms on them. And she's like, "Well, we'll bring one from home." And the teacher was all about removing barriers, and that's it was a really good fit. And yeah.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, we can always find ways to put barriers in front of ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so I think that that's great that you had so many people around you that were supporting you in removing those barriers.
Well, and it's funny because everybody's individual.
Right.
So I have most of my friends don't have any physical challenges at all.
Mhm.
And when I told them that I was doing this, they said, "That sounds terrifying." And and they didn't have any of my challenges, but they're like, "What if you go up there and bomb?" I go, "If I go up there and bomb, that never even occurred to me, because if I go up there and bomb, all that means is that the person who comes after me looks that much better. They have a great night." And And they're like, well, what if you forget your lines? And I said, well, that's pretty funny, and that's what I'm there for. But otherwise, I'll just improv. And they're like, well, we can't, we can't think on our feet. And I'm like, well, I'm not on my feet. I'm sitting down.
I can think on my bum.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, it's interesting. So you're right. There are people have different comfort levels for different
Right.
things for different reasons.
To be sure.
Yeah.
To be sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it's when it comes to finding joy, I think cultivating creativity is really important. And even when I'm at work and I'm working on something that probably isn't so creative, I do bring the emotion into it of, well, I'll give you an example. I started my career in Ottawa, and the first job that I had with the federal government was behind the scenes organizing senior level meetings.
Hmm.
And the people that I was networking and working with were fantastic, but we would put all this time and energy, effort, like 3 or 4 weeks worth of work, to organize this senior level meeting. And then when the meeting happened, we sat in the corner and we took notes and we got the minutes out, but we weren't participants. And I remember thinking, oh, I'm not being seen. I'm not being heard. I'm just a cog in the wheel. And then I got a new manager, and that manager had worked all over the world. She'd worked in the private sector, at the UN, and all these places. And she said to me, "Jasbir, our job here is to to organize and manage this meeting, and we want the senior executives to come in and get their stuff and have it all impeccably organized for them, that nobody will even know who organized this because it went off with a hitch.
Right.
Oh, sorry, without a
Without a
hitch.
hitch.
Like it was seamless,
Yeah.
right? And that it was completely seamless. And if they have to ask who put this together, that means there's been an issue. So the next meeting that we had, I put the briefing books together with so much pride, and I like got the attendance sheet and everything ready. And then when the event happened, I sat in the corner, really proudly taking the notes, getting the minutes together, and like again it went seamlessly, but I felt so much joy at watching it go seamlessly and so much pride in my anonymity,
Right.
because I understood, my perspective had shifted. So a lot of
Right.
life is about perspective.
To be sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Right. So that's my it's a key takeaway for me. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That's great. Well, we're running out of time here.
Okay.
So I'll wrap that up. Thank you so much for
You're
being
welcome.
my guest today, Jasbir. I truly appreciated the time and effort you took to join us, join
It's yeah,
me.
it's a pleasure, and I'm sure that our circles will intermingle again at some point because
To
I
be
love live theater.
great. Well, come. Yes, I hope to see you soon at one of our shows.
Yeah, and then we will put the links in the
Yes,
uh, in the
description.
description, because the next set of comedy classes is in September, and
Okay.
I think it's a beautiful safe space for people.
Okay. I will definitely put those links in below as well to be
Okay,
great. Thanks again so much. It was lovely to see you today, and I appreciate you being here.
thank
And
you.
until next time,
Take care.
likewise.
All right,
Okay. Bye-bye.
bye.